Grand day, gems and jewels. I am your host, Corinthia Peoples, and this is Power in My Pivot. Happy all things new and happy all things released, honey. Power in My Pivot is a live broadcast where we discuss how ordinary people, such as you and I, have become extraordinary through the power of pivoting, right? Where we're turning and changing and moving our lives from the prescribed direction of mass societal roles, norms, and conditions, right? This is a show for men and women, for kings and queens, for dukes and duchesses, honey. This is a good day, a super good day. This is a time that's come for us to control the narrative and remember who we are, to control our own narrative and to set the stage through leading by example. We are our examples for our communities. We are our examples for our children. We are our examples for each other. And on today's edition of Power in My Pivot, we will have a truly intimate discussion like never before with a woman of valor, Joyce Gordon, who will share how she has had to pivot in love, marriage, perspective, business, in order to authentically align with the core of her soul. That's important. We have to be in alignment with what we're doing and who we are and how we're serving in the world. So, without further ado, stay tuned. I'll be right back. Welcome back. Welcome back to Power in My Pivot. So Power in My Pivot is a discussion where we unpack the details of our pivot, our transformation, whether that was voluntarily, circumstantially, or out of sheer survival. It is a talk of our soul's journey and our evolution as humans. Welcome all to the room. Welcome, Kim Sean. Hi, beautiful. David. Good afternoon, David. Good afternoon. Great setup. Wonderful. And thank you all that are there, but did not put anything in the chat. I welcome you. Just remember that this is an interparticipatory dialogue. So feel free to drop comments and questions in the chat, honey. And please, at this time, if you would like and subscribe, that would be awesome. Subscribe to the Corinthia People's YouTube channel and just give us a like or a thumbs up on whatever platform you're on. And thank you to those who have already done so. So there are a few people in the room and I will get started. Our special guest today is Joyce Gordon. Joyce Gordon is a Southern girl born in Louisiana. Yet she was raised and bred in Berkeley, California. Joyce has always had an affinity towards creative thinking people and a passion for creating opportunities for all artists and to bring their work into the public eye. In 2003, Joyce Gordon started Joyce Gordon Gallery and has been the gallery owner of Joyce Gordon Gallery for 18 years. The Joyce Gordon Gallery, for myself and many others, is considered a safe space for artists, community leaders, local politicians. I mean, it spans the gamut of those who have been within the walls of Joyce's gallery, right? Even youth on the street passing by that has never seen an artwork that portrayed their lives or their faces or that look like them. Joyce is that piece in the community of downtown Oakland, California. Joyce is a visual and vocal leader who is adored by so many. Her community service spans from homeless youth to underserved youth to artist disciplines and effective work and work ethics. Joyce's mission is to touch as many lives as her heart and her arms can reach. She is a true community service leader in the Oakland community. She is clear about herself and what she brings and her honor of how she serves. Without further ado, I would like to welcome Joyce Gordon to Power in My Pivot. Was that an luxurious, eloquent introduction or what, Joyce?
Absolutely. I was thinking, who is this woman?
That be you.
That was lovely, Corinthia. Thank you.
Well, it's anybody that knows you, that's been in the community, knows that those words that was just a small drop in the bucket compared to the lives that you've touched. Because I'm a part of that community of lives you've touched, Joyce. You've loved me unconditionally, and we've gone the long haul. So I appreciate you, and I'm glad that you've come on the show. When you said, Corinthia, I asked you, I said, Joyce, are you willing to be transparent and very open? And you said, for you, Corinthia, yes.
And I meant that. I will do my best.
I appreciate it. Well, we have people watching. I should have had us do a watch party on your show, on your feed, but it's okay. We're gonna keep it moving, and I'm gonna make sure I add that piece next time because we could have done that without any ado. So it's cold in Oakland.
Yes, it is.
Staying warm. That's why you have on this nice thick sweater. It looks warm.
It's cold. It must be warm where you are.
Well, it's warm in the house. It's definitely warm here.
It's cold in here.
Yeah, I don't even know what the temperature is, but yeah, it's dropping to like about 30-ish degrees at night here in Nevada.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets cold. So Joyce, let's just jump into this. Let's unpack some of this life stuff. What's your formula for forgiveness?
What is my formula for forgiveness?
Mm-hmm.
I think my formula for forgiveness is because I want to feel good. I want to be happy. I want to be pleasant. I want all of those good feelings. And if I hold on to anger or grudges or whatever, that's going to make me feel bad. I don't like that. I like feeling good. So that's what it is.
I understand that. I feel the same way. I like feeling good too.
Yeah.
And do you think that holding things and grudges that leads to health issues and problems? And what do you think? Do you know people that hold on to grudges?
Yeah, I really believe that. Holding on to grudges and all of that's negative has effect on your health, your physical health, your mental health, all of that. So in order to feel good and be good and healthy, you have to let it go. And it's a choice that each of us have to make.
Mhm.
And I mean, why would you make a choice to feel bad? Why would you make a choice to be depressed all the time? There's something wrong with that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know, Joyce, you move in a way that you do things that you like doing. If you don't like it, I don't think you really engage in it.
I don't.
I don't think you do. I don't think you do. So, what comes up to mind for me is you're a gallery owner, former hairdresser. You're formerly a hairdresser, and you still have clients that only want you in their head.
Well, I think once a hairstylist, you're always a hairstylist. It's something that's just with you. I'm not really doing hair right now, um, but I'm always checking all of my clients out. They're here to make sure everything is tight, everything is in order. That's important to me.
I know it
Uh,
is.
so that's why I say once a stylist, you're always a
A
stylist.
hairstylist, because that led to my next question. Like, you own Joyce Gordon Gallery, and you've done so many great things in the community, yet I want to ask you your formula for humility, because there's still some clients that you'll still go over to the salon next to you and wash their hair and get them right and straight, and I think that shows so much humility.
Well, up until the pandemic, I was doing that. I have retired. I am not cutting or styling hair or any of that anymore. But just like I said, from a distance, I'm always doing that. If someone walks into the gallery, you know, um, I'm look dead on their hair. I mean, their cut or their style or whatever. It's just in me. So that's why I say, once a stylist, always a stylist, because you always want your sisters looking good, and your mothers, and your aunties, and your daughters, and your nieces.
Mhm.
It's important because if they're looking good, you're looking good. You
That's
know?
right. That's
Yeah.
right. Joyce, you pivoted from being a hairstylist to being a gallery owner. And I remember asking you how that came about. And you told me I decided I wanted to have a gallery. So, can you speak to the stage of you deciding, I don't want to do this anymore? I want to move my life into this direction. Because right now, there are a lot of people with the pandemic going on that has either lost their jobs or have walked away from their jobs because life is so precious. So I asked you that because that can be a very good piece to serve others, and how you were able to turn one switch off or dim it and turn another one on. Can you speak to that?
I think when I made my pivot, it's different from what's going on now with the pandemic because I probably closed the salon at the height of when I was really making money. So, I didn't have to close the salon, and I didn't have to open a gallery, but it was what I wanted to do. And hairstyling is a form of art, hair cutting, hair coloring, and all of that. So it was basically, it was an easy pivot or easy transition from one to the other. And I was an art student for a while. So, and I've always really enjoyed creative people and being around creative people and admiring what they create and get excited about it. And so there was a point when I was traveling around as a educator, platform artist for this company, uh, demonstrating haircuts and hairstyles. and I would always go to galleries and museums because growing up, that was not something. I don't know that I ever went in a museum when I was in school, high
Mhm.
school, growing up in Berkeley, maybe one or two. I certainly had not been in a gallery. So when I was traveling around as a stylist, I would always go to galleries.
Mhm.
And I don't know, it just occurred to me that I didn't see any really nice galleries with artwork that reflected me
Yeah,
or people of color.
people of color. Yeah.
So, and I'm attracted to beauty, beautiful spaces, and that kind of thing. So I decided that I want to do that. How do you do that? I want to do that. I'm going to do that. And so I think my last trip from New York, when I back to the gallery, I had a favorite gallery in New Orleans and several in New York, and I just decided that how do you do that? I want to do that. And
Mhm.
so I came back and I said, I'm opening a gallery. Everybody thought I'd lost my mind, of course. I was in the middle of a breakdown, but I wasn't. I was very clear about what I wanted to do. Had
Mhm.
no idea how you open a gallery. I knew how to open a business because I had a salon and that was a business. And there's three things that you really have to have, and that is a accountant, and I had an accountant, an attorney, and I had an attorney, and understand insurance.
Hmm.
You gotta have, if nothing else, you gotta have that. So
Hmm.
I knew I had that part.
Mhm.
Uh, in terms of marketing and promoting a business, I wasn't so clear on that because uh, when you style someone's hair, they're just walking advertisement for you. It's just word of mouth. And of course, we used to do lots of hair shows and fashion shows and that kind of thing. So that was that was the hardest part for me in the gallery was promoting it and the marketing piece.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I just thought that I would just go and find a space um, and open a gallery.
Yeah.
And what
Just
I
like
did, just
because
like
you had the
that.
three things. Because you said you
And
needed the three things.
there
You
was
needed
so
an
much,
attorney.
excuse me,
You said you needed the three things. The three things, if you
right.
want to start a business or open up a business, you need three main things.
Oh, but there's one more really important piece you need, and that is the money.
That's that's the moolah,
Yeah.
the paper.
So, working, having a hair business for many years, I can't even remember how many years it was, but I had set up a retirement because as an independent person, you have to set up everything for yourself. I didn't have a job where they would take out for me for retirement or for health insurance or anything like that. So you had to do all of that yourself. So I had that. And so I just decided to take my retirement. What I said was the gallery would be my retirement. So I took my retirement and I opened the gallery. I don't know if that's the smartest thing to do. I don't know if I would recommend that to someone else, but that's what I did.
Mhm.
And because I was 50, let's see, I think I was 52 or something like that when I opened the gallery.
Mhm.
Well, at 50, you're close to that point of retirement. And I decided, I'm starting a whole new thing. I'm stepping into something that I don't have a clue,
Mhm.
except that I love art. I love artists and that kind of thing. So I just did it.
Mhm.
Um, I remember when I had And then, I think that when you have something on your heart, something that you're really interested in and you really want to do, um, God guides you. I didn't have all the information, but He put people in my path to help me through this, journey of opening the gallery. So I guess about 2 months before I opened the gallery, a friend of mine had a party and invited me because there was this art professor there from UC Berkeley, and he wanted me to meet him. And I met him. Actually, he was here from England, and we talked about it. And I told him what I wanted to do. So he just kind of looked. When I found the space that I wanted, I had him come and look at it, and he thought it was great. And so I had this space. It was really something. I mean, to show you how green, how I just really didn't know anything. Um, I had the whole space, this space where I am now, I had the whole place gutted out. And so I had the contractors here and the electrician here. And I had I knew that I had 3 different contractors, 3 different electricians, so they could all give me a bid. And I just sat in the floor, and as they walked around and to do their, I guess, calculation of how much it was going to cost. And I made the decision. And then I had another friend whose business was, because I had the whole place, gutted out. I want anything that was here in here. So it
Yeah.
was just, yeah.
Yes.
And
So, I'm sorry to cut you off, Joyce. Did your story? I know it is compelling. And in the fact that you picked that space, we have to touch on that. Let's just go back for a second. Now you're
okay.
in a building. I just have to just put this out there because I think it is so phenomenal. You're
Uh-huh.
in a building, you're a Black owned business,
Uh-huh.
and you're in the complex of a Black owned house.
Owner of the building.
Owner of the building.
My landlord is a Black man.
That is
And
phenomenal. So you're a Black.
all of my contractors were Black men. My electrician is a Black man.
Yes.
The painter is a Black man. I love Black men.
Yes.
They just know how to do stuff,
I love Black men that know how to do stuff too. That's a requirement. I swear I can. Joyce,
Yeah.
what are you for sure? What are you certain that you're not afraid of? What are you just certain that you're not afraid of?
I can't say that I don't move in fear. I can't say that I don't have fear, obviously, of losing all my money. I don't have fear of losing a husband or a part. I don't have, my only fear and my prayer every day is that God watches over and protect my children. Outside of that, I'm cool.
Mm-hmm.
I can roll with whatever.
So you say you do not
because
have
you
a
can't
fear.
move on fear. You can't move forward. You can't make progress. You limit your experiences when you're afraid of what? My thing has always been, as long as this was when I was a stylist, as long as I don't break my hands, I lose my sight or my mind, I'm cool. And it's basically the same thing here. It's now the most important thing for me is to maintain my health. But of course, as you age a little bit, you do forget a lot because over a period of years, you have all these files. And sometimes I get my files mixed up. because when I pull it out, that for certain information, oftentimes I don't file it back in the right place. So
Okay.
it takes me a minute. But I really, yeah, I don't, and faith. I mean, you got to believe. And when I say faith, and people say they have faith, but you really, because if you have faith, then you won't move. There's no fear because you really have faith that your God is going to provide, or there'll be a light somewhere or something to help guide you.
Hmm. Hmm.
So,
So you
and
mentioned,
then I'm not attached to things.
mhm.
You
You
know,
just, that's what you said. You said, I don't have a fear of losing money or, losing my business. The only thing
I,
that really
you know,
concerns
when I opened the gallery and people were saying, "Oh, Joyce, aren't you afraid? What if you have to close? What if you lose your house?" And I said, I'm not afraid of any of that. If I close after 3 months, it doesn't mean I fell. It just meant time was up.
you.
I- You
That's
know,
a great. That's a
rather than having 18 years, I'd have 3 months. And I was, it's like, oops, okay, let's do something else or let's start over or whatever. And within that 18 years, there were many times when I wanted to close. There were many times when I would just cry. There were many times when I fought. There were times when I would call my landlord and say, "Well, I can't do this. I can't. It's just too hard, and I'm just not making any money, and I'm losing too much money. I can't do it. I won't be able to pay your rent." And he would pray with me. I mean, he would pray with me. There were times when I remember one time he came into my office to get his rent. And there were some young art students in my office, and I gave him the check. And then I asked him if he would pay my PG&E. And they were like, "That's your landlord? And you ask him to pay your PG&E?" And I said, "Well, shit, I can't be in here with no lights on and I don't have any more money."
I love it. I love it. I
So,
love
you do what you have to do.
So that's an example of community, what you say, when you say like,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. It was, I think it was important to him after he saw what I was trying to do. It was important to him for me to be here. So,
oh, I love it. Joyce, I know that so you've carried my work in the gallery for many years.
mhm.
And I've been to many openings, events, um, artist talks, so many things at the gallery that I've so enjoyed. It's always so stimulating, always so much fun, always so validating as a woman of color.
You know the
Huh?
the really great thing about part of having the gallery and meeting all of these different artists that are just creating and doing so many different things. And the fun part was, Miss Joyce, I want to do this or I want to do that. I mean, one of the artists painted the whole wall in all these different, the whole wall, this high wall
Yeah.
uh, in the gallery. And it was like, wow. Another artist had like the trapeze hanging from the ceiling. And we have done everything in here.
Yeah. You've
Everything.
done
And I
a
just
lot.
love it.
And
It's just exciting.
yeah. And every time you do something, Joyce, every time you've had an opening or everything, I've always seen your ex-husband, Raheem,
He
there
is
every
my,
time.
he is truly my best friend.
So what
People
segues?
will always say, "God, Joyce, you guys get along so well. Why is he should still be your husband?" I said, "No, if he was still my husband, I wouldn't have a best friend. And
Mm,
a best friend is more important to me than a husband."
hmm, that's
But
deep.
that's me.
Gym
I'm a
drop.
little
Say it
different.
again. Say it again. Gym drop. A best friend is more
Uh-huh.
important than a husband
Yeah, to me.
to you. Yes.
Yeah,
So how
because
do
the
you
best
how do you
friend, you share, you talk about everything. It's safe conversation. Um, a best friend, they know you better than anyone. Um, so they're honest with you. But this best friend has to, my ex-husband is a very smart, brilliant man. So it's easy for me to just kind of take his ideas or suggestions or listen to him. I can't listen to somebody who know less than I know. That just doesn't even make sense. So that's yeah, he's everything I do. He is there, and he has a wife
yeah, and children, and
and
children.
children. Yeah.
So how does that happen, Joyce? There's a lot of women, I can think of one person that I would like to have to be my friend, even if we didn't make it as lovers, or as boyfriend and girlfriend. How do you transition that? How did you pivot from wife to best friend? Is it because I want to say this. A lot of times, us as being with each other, we can create scars, whether or abandonment issues, or we something happens where our stuff is triggered. Was that your case? Was there no scars between you and
Oh, let
he?
me tell you something. For a year or 2 years, when we divorced, my name was not Joyce. My name was that other name.
Ooh,
It starts with the B, the
ooh,
big B,
the big B.
the big B. I mean, that was my, that was my name, or that's how I was addressed. I mean, there was a lot of anger. There was some drama. I mean, some
Okay.
serious drama.
Wow.
Uh,
So you
so it's
overcame
not
that.
like we just woke up one morning and decided that we're not going to be married anymore. And we shook hands and um, we're just friends from that day on. No, that took some time.
Mm,
And when there are children involved, and if you really about the the well-being and of your child, then you gotta communicate with the parent. You just got
mhm.
to make it work, to help you with your child. And so he was involved in everything. So we'd have to talk. And then when you're separated, kids are smart and they play one against the other. So we had to form a team together, you know,
Okay.
to make things work smoothly. For the,
Okay. So
yeah.
where did emotional maturity come in?
Hmm.
Where
I
did that?
think I was always mature.
Okay.
I mean, I
Okay.
can really. I said if I held if I got upset with someone about something, the way they treated me or talked to me or whatever, I would not be talking to anybody in Oakland. I would not be talking to anybody in my family,
Right. So how you
And
feel
I'm a
about
loner, but I'm not that much of a loner.
that?
I gotta,
Right.
I gotta have a little team somewhere, you
Right.
know. So, and you just got, but see, some people they just hold on to anger. They just hold on to it. They just want to be bitter. They just want to be mad. And the other person, what I would tell people, why would you, this person has gone on about their business, but they're still controlling your life.
Mm,
You have given them they have decided at a distance, they could be in another state of what your day is going to look like, or your week, or your month, because you're still pissed.
mm.
No, I cannot give or allow anyone to have that kind of power over me.
Hmm. Okay, so we need a solution because there are people that are stuck like that, Joyce.
Hmm.
That is, that's more common than the other. It's more
Hmm.
common to be stuck and angry and bitter. That's more
Hmm.
common. If that wasn't more common, Joyce, we wouldn't have all these reality shows of folks fighting.
It's
You know.
crazy.
So
Hmm.
what's the solution? Can you offer a solution of overcoming bitterness and anger?
I don't know what the solution is. I just believe that at some point you have to spend time with you, yourself, and you have to really want to be okay. Um, and you really have to, you really have to work on yourself and you have to love yourself. That is the really, really important piece is loving yourself. Because if you love yourself, you really love yourself, everything about yourself, then you're going to take care of yourself. And in taking care of yourself, you're going to let go of all of that anger and that bitterness because you're just making yourself sick mentally and physically. And I mean, if you love yourself, why would you want to wake up with a headache? Why would you want to, why would you do that to yourself? And
Wow.
once you realize that you have power over you and you can make a decision about how you want to be the next day or the next day or the next day or whatever, or how you want to live your life. I'm not going to, I just refuse to give anybody power over me. I decide how I am going to feel today. I
Yeah.
am, I decide. You could be sitting over there in the corner, pissed with me. That's you. You have to deal with that. I don't have to deal with that. And I'm not going to subject myself to that.
Hmm.
So I like me.
Would you think would you say that would you coin yourself as a people pleaser?
I, to a certain degree, I may be a people pleaser, but I'm a, I don't know, I'm a different kind of people pleaser, I guess. As long as it doesn't take me away from who I
Hmm.
am.
Hmm.
I don't say I'm a people pleaser, but I'm respectful of other people and how they feel and how they are and all of that. But to go out of, if it's going to take me out of away from who I am to please them, that's not going. I just can't. I gotta be me,
Okay,
and I
wait.
have.
Jim drop. Jim drop. So if in pleasing others, if it takes you away from who you are and what
Hmm.
you have going for yourself, then
Hmm.
that should be the cutoff. You should not be
Absolutely.
pleasing others if it's going to take you away from who you are.
No, I right. Yeah.
Jim drop.
Yeah.
What is one thing that your parents told you, Miss Joyce, that you feel has carried you well into your adult life?
Well, my mother would always say, I guess growing up, I had this attitude like my father. And my mother and my aunts would tell me, Joyce, be nice. Don't be like your father. Be nice. My mother would always say that, Joyce, be nice. And my mother was just, gosh, she was just perfect. She was so kind, so sweet. And so I just try to be nice. And then my father says, Joyce, there is no such thing as can't. I'm like, there's no such thing as can't. There is no such thing as can't. And I'm like, it's just so strange. How can there be such thing as can't? And so it's like if where there's a will, there's a way. If you really want something, if you really want to do it, you know, you can do it.
Mhm.
So those are the things that I remember my mother saying to me
So,
often.
and those things have carried you. You
Yeah,
always come forward.
be nice.
Be nice. No such thing as can't.
No such thing as can. So you got that going on. Be nice. And don't say you can't be nice because there's no such thing as
Can't. Joyce, what would be one thing that you feel, in your opinion, a parent should tell their children in hopes to raise confident individuals? Because you're definitely confident. And those two things that you were told, be nice and there's no such thing as can't, then that enforced confidence in you. That's why you were able to start a first business as a hairstylist and a second business in your early 50s as a gallery, because your father told you there's no such thing as can't. So in your mind, there was nothing holding you. So what would you tell someone that was watching this right now or that's watching it later? What's one thing that they can tell their children to instill more confidence in the youth today, or even in young adults?
Gosh, other than believe in yourself and do whatever it is you want to do. My son has had 4 different business, and his dad and I keep saying the boy's gonna make it. He's because he just keep trying. He just keeps trying. You just can't give up. You got to believe in yourself.
Mm,
Whatever it is that you say that you want, then you just have to go for it. And a lot of times because I've made a lot of sacrifices, and you have to be willing to make those sacrifices to get whatever it is that you want. And believe in yourself that you can do this. You can have this if it's really what you want. And then with my kids at different stages of their lives, I would share different things with them. When they got older, I'd share things and things about me and my experience and the things I've went to that I've gone through. But it's only at different stages that I would share it. Some things that I would share with my daughter or my son in their 20s uh, is not the same thing I would share with them when they're 10 years old
mhm,
or when they're 30, and I share more. I remember having a conversation with my son, and I said, I need you to just listen to me and tell me what you think. And
mhm.
they get to have an opinion. And so after he was listening, he said, God, Ma, it's like I'm the parent. You're talking to me, telling me all this stuff like I'm the parent instead of you're the parent. I said, well, right now, I need to know what you think, and then I'll be the parent again, okay? But I really need to know what you think.
Okay. Hmm. So you're okay with kind of like shifting roles for a moment, because you're
Oh,
always
yeah.
a parent.
Yeah. I mean, because there are moments when it's like, I really don't know what to do. I really don't know what to say. Rhonda, what do you think I should do? Musa, what do you think I should say? And hopefully they've grown to a point where they can give me some kind of feedback. And even now, I think Corinthia, I've asked you, well, Corinthia, what do you think about this? Should I do this? And a lot of the other young ladies that are here at the gallery a lot, I always ask them for information. I always ask them for advice. I always said that my mother raised me to raise my children, and my children to raise me. Just kind of. You know, it's
Yeah.
just kind of,
But Joyce, that goes with your humility piece, because a lot of times we think we need to have all the answers, especially when we're in such positions, right?
hmm
We're like, oh, if I ask that question, because I felt this way. I'm going to speak for myself. I
hmm
felt that by me being in a position, I should know the answer.
well,
I
there's a
don't know.
possibility. I know there are questions, a lot of questions that I've had, and a lot of the artists have shared a lot of information with me. Uh, and me asking those questions, I have a gallery. I should know the answers, but I don't. And the only way I'm going to get the answers is that I ask somebody,
Right.
you
So
know?
you don't have the fear of being judged. Do you have that piece? There. I guess that's that control. I don't know what to
No,
call
Corinthia, whether
that.
you ask the question or have the answer, do well, um, slip, fall, come back, you're going to be judged anyway. So you may as well do it your way.
Right.
There's always going to be someone to have something to say about whatever it is you do, whatever it is you go, how you raise your children, how you are in your relationship, the selection of your man or partner or whatever. There's always somebody that is laying in the cut with something to say.
Land in the cut.
And it ain't nothing nice. So you got to be about you.
It's true. It's true, Joy.
You really got to be about you.
Oh,
If I'm
so, you know what you just did for me
what?
right now? You just gave me permission to one, ask questions, to two, not be attached to knowing all the answers, and
Mm,
three, do myself and in asking a question, whatever I need, just do me, just ask the question, just get the answer. That's the bottom line.
Uh, Corinthia, when I first opened the gallery and had the opening, and Jeffrey, my landlord, was running around and everybody was all excited. He says, Joyce, you had my press release. He says, yeah, Joyce, you got to have a press release. I said, well, what is a press release? If I was not honest with myself or with him, I would have never gotten a press release. If I could not admit, and this is something that I should have known, but I didn't know.
Yeah.
You don't know what you don't know all the time. So, you know, that's just one little situation. There are several.
So then there's something inside of you, Joyce, that has come has had a come to Jesus moment, so to speak, about what people think of you. Because
Mhm.
in order to ask questions and not be attached to any judgment, you can't be attached to what people think of you. Where are you with that? Of what people think of you?
Where am I with that?
Yes.
What people think of me?
Hmm.
Well, I can't say that. Well, it depends on who the person is. Because there's some people or certain people, it doesn't matter. And then there's some people, I mean, it's a very important to me what my children think of me.
Okay.
It's very important to me what my close, it's important to me what my close inner circle think of me. Outside of that, oh well, you know.
Hmm.
And I don't even know what they think of me. But I think that I believe that I carry myself in a way and I'm pleasant and I'm open and I'm, that, Well, but you could just make a negative comment, but that's on you. I can't control that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't give a lot of time and thought to what someone else may think about.
Mm-hmm. So where does where does your vision, excuse me, where does your vision of yourself? So we all have a vision for of ourselves, right? Either that.
My vision of myself is a very kind, open, free spirit. That's my vision of me, of who I am. I think I'm a very kind and open person.
And free spirit. You are a free spirit. I love that about you. Is there anything that hinders that at times? Is there anything that hinders your free spirit and your kindness?
I don't know if there's anything that hinders my kindness. There may be some things that hinder my free spirit where I become in certain situations insecure. Uh, like I'm feeling very vulnerable and insecure sitting here talking to you because this is not something I do.
Right. But you're
Um,
safe. You're safe.
uh, I can't think. Ask me that again. What did you just ask me?
Yeah, your vision of yourself. Is there anything that hinders it sometimes?
I'm sure there is. I can't think of
Like,
what that.
yeah, like sometimes it's like, oh, I really, there's something that you really want to do, but you don't do it. Like you really want that vision of yourself to expand, but there's some hindrance around you doing it.
Well, the vision of myself that I guess would want to expand is to speak out more. I never talk to people. I never do this kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm not confident in that way. But I made a decision that I mean I've been here for 18 years and no one has really heard me. I always have someone else uh, speak for me,
Mm-hmm.
and I've never I've just never stepped out to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I made a decision to um, to work on that. Today, I am a work in progress.
Yes, I'm so glad. I'm so glad you decided, Joyce. And
Yeah,
it's
this is. I've had so many invitations to speak and to be on panels and all of that, even to go to schools and speak. I remember one guy asking me to come to his class, and I said, "Oh no, I can't do that. I can't." He said, "Joyce, they're fourth graders, for God's sake." Yeah, but they got an opinion too.
I love it. Joyce, I won't keep you. I know you're open for business today. I'm gonna throw out some names. I'm gonna throw out one, two, three, four, five. Five names. And
Uh-huh.
these five names, I want you to give me one word that pops up immediately.
Okay.
Okay, it's a little game.
All
Little game.
right.
This is
I don't play games well, but okay.
it's a little game. It's fun.
Okay.
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 It's safe. And you get to whatever pops up in your head first is what, because we're gonna go through it quick. You ready?
I'm ready.
Tina Marie.
The first word,
First word that pops in your mind.
Rick James.
James Baldwin.
Oh, writer, poet. How do I pronounce this? Prolific.
Prolific. Frida
Prolific.
Kahlo.
Oh, serious, dynamic.
Mahalia Jackson.
Who?
Mahalia Jackson.
Oh, spiritual.
Nina
Spirit.
Simone.
Oh my God. My Nina Simone, woman.
Woman. I love it. I love it. Where can people find you, Joyce?
I am at 406 14th Street, downtown Oakland, 2 blocks from the 12th Street BART station, Oakland.
And your
Oh,
website for those who are not in Oakland, because I am Katie, I am King's daughter. She's on here, and she's all the way on this in the south of France.
is that right?
Hmm.
Well, I am downtown Oakland, California, 94612.
Beautiful. Joyce, thank you so much for coming on the show. I want at this time, if anyone has any questions or comments, this is the time. I want to go to the stream and just answer some questions. Marina, she blew up the I love it. Shalom family, one love it. Very true. She was following everything you said.
Oh,
My
really?
sister in the south of France. She's of African descent. She's Senegalese. Um,
Ah,
yes, very beautiful
oh,
woman. She says, "Be nice." That was her takeaway.
uh-huh.
Oh, I love this. So true. So she was just hanging on, talking to you. Oh, she's here now. I want to say she's very inspiring.
Thank
So
you.
you were inspiring, Joyce. So see you coming out and doing this interview. I so appreciate you.
And
Um,
she's from Senegal?
she's her lineage is Senegalese. Is
I
yes,
was in Senegal some
Mhm.
years ago, plan to go next year.
Yes, but she lives in south of France.
Okay.
Yes, we did a show together. So hopefully we're going to be doing other things, and maybe we'll have you back. Would love to have you back. So, Joyce, I want to thank you again for coming on the show and stepping outside of your norm, your boxes. Um,
Thank
oh,
you, Corinthia, so much. I appreciate you so much. Um, and I thank you for surrounding me and giving me the courage to step out.
oh, always. And Carla is in. Oh, we have another comment. Hi, Carla. Love it in Oakland. She says she's coming to visit you and to see what artists that you have displaying currently. Oh, she's asking what artists do you have displaying currently. So there's a picture behind you. Who
Yeah,
is that?
this is David Graves.
You want to kind of take your phone and go to the right a little. Yes, beautiful. And that artist is David Gray.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
We have David Graves. We have Aziz Dang. And we have Benjamin. We have Zoe. We have Kaya. We have Brian Keith Thomas. We have a lot of great artists.
Okay, so she heard you, Carla. She heard you.
And I am open. We're open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from 1 to 6, and Saturday from 1 to 6. Or you can call for an appointment.
Okay, beautiful. That was good. She said it's beautiful, so she definitely will come. Joyce, thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
on. I so love and appreciate you. Oodles and scoodles. Oodles
Love
and
you back.
scoodles.
Okay.
Hang out backstage. I'm going to close out the show. Hold on backstage for a second. The health tip for the week. That was awesome. That was Joyce Gordon of Joyce Gordon Gallery. And that was an amazing interview. I'm so glad that she decided to say yes. The health tip, we don't just speak about a problem. We also render a solution, right? So this week's health tip is to know at the very least that you require respect. At the very least, people don't have to like you. They don't have to agree with you. But at the very least, you and everyone requires respect. What inspired me to do this edition of Power in My Pivot was my notion to push and plow forward and see what life lends me. I'm truly learning that success is measured by the times we fail and get back up. I'm going to say that again. I am truly learning that success is measured by the amount of times we fail and get back up. You know, when Joyce decided to come on, I was so honored to have her come on to the show. But, you know, I asked her if she would be open and transparent. And she says, you know, Corinthia, for you, I would be. And just by her saying and trusting in me to be that she would have a safe interview with me made me know that it's not the amount of people that I asked to come on the show, it's the ones that show up. Yes. So I would like to say to you, thank you so much for tuning in to Power in My Pivot. Power in My Pivot is a live broadcast that happens every single Saturday at 11 a.m. excuse me, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, and 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Kings and queens, let's pivot from basic baby to bona fide, and always remember that nobody's better than you and you're no better than nobody else, as told to me from a wise man, my grandfather. In the meantime, and until next time, there is power in your pivot. So keep on pivoting. I'll see you guys soon. Until next time.